My dear students, myself Aditya Chakraborty. Today I am going to discuss about the DC generator. Today is the first part of DC generator is presented by me. The first slide is the introduction. The initial electromagnetic generator, that is known as Faraday's disc, was invented by the famous British scientist, namely Michael Faraday, in the year of 1831. A DC generator is an electrical device used for generating electrical energy. The main function of generator is to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy, and the mechanical force is fed to the shaft of the generator by the help of prime mover. Prime mover not a machine is not a machine. Prime mover is a mechanism. Prime mover may be a hand crank, IC engine or internal combustion engine, water turbine, gas turbine, steam turbine, any type of device which is used to supply the torque to the shaft of a generator is known as prime mover. And the power which is generated in the generator is fed to the common power grid for stable distribution. So we can say a generator or DC generator is one kind of electrical machine which convert the mechanical energy into DC voltage or DC current. Now the next slide is the basic operating principle of DC generator. Now we can see there is a GIF of DC generator. There are two numbers of pole, one is south pole and one is north pole. Between these two poles there is a several numbers of magnetic lines of forces or magnetic flux, and a conductor is rotating between them and it cuts the magnetic flux. Hence, according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, there is a voltage is induced. This is called the induced EMF. So a DC generator working principle is based on Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, and this voltage is collected by the carbon brass, which is a collecting medium, and is fed to a galvanometer, and the pointer of the galvanometer gradually move from 0 to negative position and 0 to positive position. So from this GIF we can say that the induced EMF in the DC generator is alternating in nature. So by the help of a special device known as commutator, or it is a rotating rectifier, the alternating voltage generated in the DC generators is converted into direct current or unidirectional wave. And also from the Fleming's right hand rule we can see the motion of the conductor, the magnetic field direction, and the direction of the current which is fed to the load circuit from the armature where the voltage is induced. Now the next slide is the construction. You can see here a constructional image or an image of a DC generator. Here an engine or an IC engine or petrol engine is connected with the DC generator by the help of coupling, and it is the prime mover which is connected to the DC generator. So there are several parts in a DC generator. These are yoke, poles, pole shoe, field winding, armature core, armature winding, commutator, and brushes. But the main two parts are the stator and rotor. One is static part, another is rotating part. The stator is an essential part of DC generator, and the main function of these is to provide the magnetic field where the coil spins or where the coil is rotating, or you can say where the armature is rotating between the two magnetic poles. So there must be even number of poles present in the armature, in the stator or in the yoke. These poles are maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in numbers. That must be an even number. That means there is a pole pair is present. If there is a south pole, obviously there is a north pole is present, and these are facing each other to produce the magnetic lines of forces or the magnetic flux. Now the rotor or armature core. Rotor or armature core is the second essential part of a DC generator. It includes slotted iron laminations. That means the rotor where the conductor are attached, or the rotor or armature holds the conductor by the help of slots. This rotor or armature or the core of the armature is not in solid in nature. That means it is not a solid part. There is a laminating iron core is used. Lamination means there are several numbers of pieces of irons or pieces of steel or cast irons are attached with each other by the help of hydraulic pressure and nut bolts, and the lamination is provided to reduce the eddy current loss. Now this is the cross-sectional view of a generator. You can see here field winding, commutator, armature conductor, interpoles, frame or yoke, pole shoe, commutator segments, and shaft. So shafts hold the total armature. And now the field winding. The field winding means the field coil which is installed above the pole, and the pole shoe is the shoe-like construction above the pole, and this is here is the armature core, and several numbers of slots are present over the armature core, and also interpoles, commutator segments are present here. So number one, the armature windings. The armature core slots are mainly used to hold or for holding the armature windings. There are several numbers or several types of slots are present. In case of high speed generator, the closed slot is used or semi-open slot is used, and in case of low speed generator, there is open slot is used, and it is connected in series or parallel to enhance the sum of the produced current. Now the yoke is the outer cover. The external structure of the DC generator is yoke, and it is made by cast iron, otherwise by steel, and it is made by a ferromagnetic material. That means it has a good permeability, and it gives the necessary mechanical power for carrying the magnetic flux through the poles. Now poles, these are mainly used to hold the field windings. Usually these windings are wound on the poles and they are connected in series, otherwise parallel, by armature winding. In addition, the pole will give joint towards the yoke with the welding method, otherwise by using screw. So the poles are connected with the yoke by the help of welding or nut bolt or screw. Now the pole shoe. Pole shoe is utilized mainly to spread the magnetic flux or to increase or to enhance the flux linkage area, and By this method, the induced EMF of generator is increased. Now the commutator. The commutator is a simple rotating rectifier, and it change the alternating voltage to the direct DC voltage within the armature winding to across the brushes. So it is connected with the brushes, and there are several numbers of segment in the commutator, and these are protected from each other by the help of mica sheet. It is located on the shaft of the machine. Now the brushes. The brushes are made by the copper, and it is a collecting medium. It collects the direct current from the commutator. It is connected with the commutator, and commutator is rotating with the armature, and the brush is a static part, and brush collects the direct current from the commutator and supply to the external load. And for that very reason, there is always friction is present between brush and commutator, and due to that very reason, brush has a good lubrication property. So we can say that a brush is a solid lubricant, number one. Number two, it is a good conductor of electricity, and also it absorbs the heat. Now the next slide is the EMF equation. The EMF equation of DC generator according to Faraday's laws of automatic induction is Eg equals to P phi Zn by 60 into A, where phi is the flux or per pole in Weber, Z is the number of conductors equals to 2 into turns, P is the number of poles in a generator, A is the number of parallel path within the armature, N is the revolution or rotation of armature in RPM, and Eg is the generated EMF. So here are N and S are two poles. Between these two poles there are magnetic fluxes are present, and if we rotate the conductor between them, the conductor cuts the flux, and EMF is induced in the conductor. So the number of conductors equals to Z, P equals to the pole pair, A is the parallel path. Parallel path means the parallel conductor between two brushes, or the conductor between two brushes, and N is the speed of the armature is in RPM. But we know that voltage means Weber per second, the rate of change of flux, that means the flux cut in 1 second. So the EMF or voltage equals to Weber per second. So if the revolution is in RPM, so we have to convert in is RPS. For that very reason, Eg equals to P phi Zn by 60 into A. So N by 60, that means the rotation or revolution is in RPS or revolution per second. Now the next part is the different types of winding. One is lap winding, another is wave winding. So at first, lap winding. Lap means overlapping. In a lap winding, the consecutive coils overlap each other. The first end of the winding is connected to the one segment of the commutator, and the starting end of the other coil is placed under the same magnet and joined with the same segment of the commutator. In case of lap winding, the parallel path A equals to the number of poles, that is P, and the number of brushes equivalent to the number of parallel paths. And in case of wave winding, the one end of the coil is connected to the starting end of the other coil, which has the same polarity, as that of the first coil. The coils are connected in the wave shape and hence it is called the wave winding. In case of wave winding, the parallel path A equals to always 2. Now the classification of generator. So classification of DC generator can be done in two most important categories. That means it is classified into two main categories. Number one is separately excited generator and number two the self-excited generator. So self-excited generator can be classified into three categories: series, shunt and compound is classified into two categories, that is long shunt and short shunt. So at first we have to discuss about the separately excited DC generator. So there is a circuit diagram of separately excited DC generator. There is a field winding which is connected with a DC supply or DC field source, and between these two there is a field adjusting rheostat or a variable resistance, and which is used to control the flow of current from the DC source to the field winding. So the field is energized by the DC supply, which is controlled by the field adjusting rheostat, and there is an armature which is connected to the output terminals. These output terminals are connected with the loads or load resistance. So we can see here the armature and field are apart from each other. There is no connection between armature and field winding, and field is connected by a DC source, a separately DC source. So this is known as separately excited DC generator. Next, series and shunt generator, which is self-excited DC generator. In a self-excited type, the field coils are strengthened from the generated current with the generator. So in case of self-excited generator, the field or the magnetic field is energized or excited by the voltage which is induced in the armature. The generation of first electromotive force. So the first EMF induced in the generator will occur because of its outstanding magnetism. It is very important. So when there is no flux at first, if there is no excitation is provided to the field of the generator, so how it is possible that a voltage is induced in the generator? So there is a magnetic flux always present between two poles, and it is called the outstanding magnetism or the residual magnetism within the field poles. The produced electromotive force will cause a fraction of current, and for that very reason there is a current is produced. Very small amount of fractional value of current is produced if the armature is rotating between the two poles, and by the help of residual magnetism a small amount of flux is cut by the armature winding, and a fractional value of current will be produced and it is supplied to the field coils, therefore which will increase the field flux as well as electromotive force generation further. And this type of DC generator can be classified into series, shunt and compound. So at first, the series generator. In case of series generator, the armature and field is connected in series with each other, and in case of shunt generator, the armature and field is connected parallel with each other. Here you can say that in case of series generator, the field resistance is very low, and in case of shunt generator, the field resistance is very high. Now, the last slide is the compound generator. Compound generator means there are two numbers of field coils are present. One is series field, another is shunt field. So there are two types of compound generator. One is long shunt, another is short shunt. In the long shunt field, winding is parallel with both armature and series field winding. In case of short shunt compound generator, the shunt field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding only. So these are the self-excited DC generator, series, shunt and compound. Okay. That's all. Thank you.